What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Borderless Radio. It's your co-host, Kanuza, joined by my co-host, as always.
You know what it is, man. Mistry here. Got another great episode for you guys.
Another great episode, and once again, Mistry, we've done it. Another amazing guest. Joining us today, we've got Lost Boy, a.k.a. Phil, from the 707. Say it backwards.
Say it backwards.
Say it backwards. Where you at, Lost Boy? Artist, musician, DJ, foodie, creative, and much, much more. Thank you so much for being on the show today, my man.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate the opportunity.
As always, man. I mean, we go back, 20, 30 years now? We've known each other? Nah, maybe about 3 years.
We've known each other for 2 decades, 3 decades.
You feel me? Nah, Phil and I, we met each other. We worked together actually, and yeah, man, the connection that we made over music, as you know, Mistry and I made as well. The language of music is universal, so I'm really glad we were able to meet and chop it up and have you on our episode. So Lost Boy, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell the people what they want to hear. Who are you, my man?
Yes, sir. So I'm Lost Boy, or Where You At, Lost Boy. I'm from the Bay Area, obviously. I'm a singer-songwriter first and foremost, but I'm a producer as well, DJ as well. I'm a foodie as well.
Oh yeah, I gotta throw that in there, man.
Yeah. And I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I'm dabbling in a lot of things, and I'm just kind of like tugging on the tree of like music. So anything that music is involved with, I want to be part of it. I'm actually doing a lot of videography work too, as well. But first and foremost, singer-songwriter. Yeah.
That's what's up, dude. We're gonna get to hear a few bangers from Lost Boy in a few here. We're gonna be dropping tracks throughout the episode, so stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere. Dude, tell us a little bit about. I mean, we've all experienced COVID, and you know, it's impacted us in some way, shape, or form. And you know, 2020 being a year where we were all kind of restricted with, we can't perform places, you can't go to studios. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in this last year, man. What have you been working on, and just let the people know what you have been up to.
Yes, sir. So I feel like, there's been a lot of things that's been happening, I think, the past 2020 and like even prior to that too. But a lot of the lockdown, a lot of the quarantine is just made, I feel like everyone has kind of shown their like true colors, or like their true passions are coming out. Like they've been at home, stuck at home, wondering what they should do with themselves because they're not doing their 9-to-5s, and they're realizing like, I actually like going out and walking my dog, and actually taking time to go walk my dog, when it's not just like, oh, okay, we gotta go boo boo.
It's not a job anymore. Yeah. Straight from the heart,
Yeah. So, or you wake up in the morning, you're like, you know what, I'm about to make pancakes. I never knew I really actually knew how to cook. Let me learn how to cook, or let me learn how to do carpentry, or let me learn how to peel garlic. Man, I just had the last interview. Shoehorn in that too. Garlic, very important thing to have in your household. But
essential ingredient.
Yeah, man. If you don't have garlic in like at least one part of your recipe of dinner, like it's just not dinner at that point, or food. Garlic is top tier.
It's good for your heart too. Love.
Oh yeah.
But specifically with me and doing a lot of the music and stuff during quarantine and learning, I think it's built me up to do a lot more different production, and it retaught me that I love to play guitar. And Ryan knows this, my music prior, and I've been guitar. I've been genre bouncing like here and there just to learn a lot of stuff. And I think that was the main thing, is that I learned a lot of things with production, and I relearned like where I came from with music. And it was a lot of this beach house, kind of like California dreaming, wanderlust sounding music. And that's what I learned how to tighten up on. And it made me fall back in love with music that same way. DJing is something that I also learned how to do. My family is really big on that too, with music. And Matt, shout out my cousin Matt, he taught me how to DJ, and What Is Our Music has been something that we've been working on as well. I'll touch on a little bit on that later, but a lot of it has just been submerged in my passion. And there's a lot of bad shit that happened last year, but I feel like a lot of good shit has happened with a lot of people. And I feel like it's for the better. I like, honestly, and I'll cut it short a little bit too. I'm where I currently work. There's a lot of people that either are moving up in the company, or they're quitting their job, or they're pursuing the business that they started as a side hustle to make them money during the quarantine when they weren't making money. And that's the most inspiring thing too, is like, even in that desperate time, people are still finding new ways to just better themselves. And that's just good energy all around. And I love that.
Well, I think, go for it.
Go for it. No,
I was just going to say, like, you know, I think to touch on that last point you made, a lot of people, after they were done their job, you know, they were off at 5 o'clock or whatever time they were off, instead of going, you know, out after work or going to places where you can kind of keep your mind occupied, a lot of people were coming back home and they were like, damn, I'm sitting on my couch right now, and do I really feel fulfilled with what the hell I just did? You know what I mean? And so I think that time that people got to think to themselves, like, am I really doing what I love? You know, could I rather be baking right now? Can I get my real estate license started? Can I pursue music full time? You know what I mean? So like that rediscovering of passions and that spark that you talked about, I think for our listeners, that's key, man. Like, find your spark again if you need to. That's important.
Yeah, what would you say, like, if someone was struggling right now to find their spark, but also like to keep them motivated? Like, what would you, like, if you had a saying that kept you going this whole time, like, what would it be?
I think that, and I think with every creative, there's always those down moments where you feel like the world is against you, and you feel like someone's giving you an opinion you didn't really ask. And of course, you want feedback, you want notes on your shit that you're doing, and you want to know that people are actually digging what the content that you're doing, or, you know, digging the music that you're doing, or whatever venture you're doing. But you got to get over the fact that, you know, the world can end, or the world could stop at any moment, just like the pandemic stopped everything last year. So it's either you still either get through that point. And then people, I feel like the people that were really grinding last year, they got over the fact that nothing's permanent. Like, say, like, I'm going to be at FedEx, or I'm going to be a mailman for like 9 years, or like I'm thinking about my pension later on in life and my retirement, all this stuff. I think there's a new world right now. And it's okay that if you're 20, or even if you're 30, or even 40, there are people like Morgan Freeman and actors that start super late, or musicians and things, and they make a career change later on in their life. And that's something that I struggle with every day right now too, is, you know, nothing's permanent. It's okay. And if Morgan Freeman is doing crazy movie work right now,
yep,
I could make a career change. And that too, I could give up music right now and be like, you know what, I'm just going to be a carpenter and I'm going to learn how to do it. But as long as your heart is in it and you really love you love what you're doing, it's not because you're making the money, and so corny and cliche, but it's not because of the money, the millions of dollars that we really don't get for streams and music and stuff. I'll talk about that too later. The millions of dollars you don't get as a artist or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about the money. It really isn't. It's about you actually having fun and actually loving the work that you do, because you're at home, again, with the pandemic, you're at home and you're realizing, like, man, I think I realized, like, I really didn't like working at this coffee shop. I really should just went to go get my barber's license and just cut hair. Yeah. You know, and I've been pondering this at work. Now I'm not at work, and now I'm thinking about it. It's like, anything could happen, anything could end tomorrow. Are you going to be happy passing away knowing that you didn't try to get at what you're trying to get at, that you were still pondering on it? I could have shortened that and made it a little bit more sweeter, but yeah, pretty much.
I get what you mean. You want to wake up every day saying, like, you love what you do, or like you want to wake up saying, like, I love my job, but like, it's not your job, it's just your passion. You know what I mean? Like, you want to wake up and be like, oh, I have to do this again, or I have to do that again. Like, you want to wake up and just be like, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna have fun and do what I want and just do what I love to do.
You know? Like one last bit I want to leave us with before we get into a little bit of your music and our listeners get to hear that spark that you found. I was scrolling through the gram the other day and I saw this quote, or this video rather, that said, how crazy would it be if, you know, if you're spiritual and you believe in going to heaven or something like that, where, you know, if you died the next day and you went to heaven and like you were shown a book of what your life could have been like, if you just continue to do what you love. And I'm like, damn,
Mhm.
that shit was deep. You know what I mean? Like,
That is deep.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think, man, whoever's listening, if you needed any type of motivation to get your ass up and buy that thing that you needed to get you running, or whatever the case is, let that moment be now, right? And you know, speaking about your spark, you said you found this new vibe. You know, our listeners are gonna hear that genre bouncing you've been doing with your music. You know, I'm cruising through Los Angeles. I'm hearing the guitar play.
Not Los Angeles. The Boo.
The
Boo.
You were right. Los Angeles is full of traffic, right? Yeah. Tell us about your inspiration around Candy Colored Sky, dude. That was epic. Feel good vibes all around.
So with Candy Colored Sky, and like if you listen to the lyrics and everything, and just like Ryan said, like it is the epitome of what I would feel like is California dreaming, California just cruising, 101, you know, near the beach, drop top, good energy vibes. And most of the inspiration really, and I did a lot of music before when I first started. This is probably 15, 17 years ago, and I picked up a guitar, and I always liked to do the smooth, like kind of like beachy sounding stuff. And I was actually in a metal band when I first started doing music. Y'all don't know this.
Oh, shit. What?
Yeah, I was in a metal band. I actually did the screaming and everything. Yeah, yes, sir. Warped Tour. Oh my God, Warped Tour.
Yeah.
But I did all that stuff, but it was always like this thing with me where I would always have like a side project that would kind of sound similar, or like the baby version of Candy Colored Sky. And if I were to say something with my music and not having an album out right now that's coming out hopefully later this year,
Ooh.
that song would be like the epitome of the album. It would be the centerpiece of like my sound. But a lot of the inspiration really is a lot of like, I want to say solely, but like Tame Impala vibes, or like MGMT Electric Feel. Like that's one of my favorite songs, favorite joints. And a lot of like, I want to say Blonde was like, it's something that music that can be timeless. Like you could play at any time, and it's just like feel good music. And that's what I want to provide.
100%. Love that.
And it's about a girl too. I mean, you know, shout out you, girl. Like,
Whew. Text your X hours. What?
the other song.
Oh, we get to that one.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
I mean, like, and Mistry can talk more about this. I mean, Mistry, like, you know, he talked about his music being timeless, right? Like, why don't you tell the listeners, you know, like reiterate like why we've got Borderless Radio, and like the whole method and theory around being borderless, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great saying, right? Like that sense of timeless sound, or like that sense of like just being timeless in general. Like music and everything is just, there's no border to music, right? Like you can be one genre, but like at the end of the day, you can dip your feet into everything, right? Like there's, like I'll use the most cliche example here, is like Drake, right? Like Drake is Drake. He has
666.
Yeah. He has pop songs, he has rap songs. He also has like a song with like Bad Bunny, who's like a huge reggaeton artist, right? Like, and he was singing Spanish on the track. You know what I mean? Like you were able to do those things, and like that's why music is like borderless in the sense of like you can do anything with it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, our value and like what Ryan and I have always talked about is like, how are we gonna become like a timeless essence for other people, right? And like feel for yourself, like your song, like Candy Colored Sky, is like, not only does that make me want to be at the beach, but like, bro, like when you said like MGMT and stuff like that, like Electric Feel, I think about like snowboarding. Like Cali, we get all 4 seasons, right? Snowboarding down the slopes, like, man, like I could put that on and just like cruise away. That's what you want. Like you want music to take you to places that you've never been, or like take you to that place that feels like home while you're somewhere else, and that's what that is.
Hell yeah.
I agree like 1000%. And I love what you guys are doing with this and Borderless, and not having a boundary. Like, and that takes it back to like the people that feel, or like if I were to have a message or mission statement out there for people that weren't feeling inspired, like don't let it be like what everyone else is doing on the internet. There's so much content and there's so much music, and whatever field you are on the internet, you're going to see 1,000, 100 million people doing the same thing, and you're going to feel like you want to be shoehorned into this one specific thing. and it's gonna burn you out because you're never gonna be that artist. You're never gonna be Drake. You're never gonna be the Ariana Grande. You're never gonna be Tiger Woods, bro. Like, it's okay, but you could be the best version of you. That sounds so corny, and again, like, it's all about being yourself, and that's why, like, you know, Ryan, like you guys, like, I appreciate y'all having me here. So that's what I'm literally trying to do. So I have my music and my singles out and stuff, but I'm also a DJ, and I flip acapellas, and I produce and remix actual songs, and that's specifically on SoundCloud. And then I love to do covers and do my own rendition of a Drake Passion Fruit. I did that joint. It's actually on YouTube right there.
It is fire.
Thank you. So I like doing that. And then also I'm doing videography, and I like doing the music on behind it, because cinematography is something that's crazy. And again, that's timeless stuff. Like, people like think of what Woody Allen, whatever. Christopher Nolan.
Kids are like, who's Woody Allen?
Yeah, like Christopher Nolan, or like, you know, like what's his name? Martin Scorsese. Those type of films, or Quentin Tarantino, for sure. Him, like, those are timeless things, and they kind of tether all of those creative things together. And I like doing all of those same things at the same time. And it doesn't mean like, man, you're doing so many different things, like it's never gonna stick. Again, what I said a while ago, I like doing all this, and it makes me happy, you know, whether or not you guys are listening to my DJ set, or you're listening to my single, or whatever it may be. If you might find me, I'm probably gonna be there. Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, like Yahoo, the Google
me,
like all that shit.
Google me.
Google me. I'm somewhere, bro.
I think what's great is that, like, this episode, and like though it's episode 3, I think 3 is an iconic episode, because like you know what the fact that you're going to keep going and kind of setting the tone, right? Like 1 and 2, especially our first guest ever, and like our first episode, or our second episode was Rieta. You know, I met John at 1015 Folsom, and I was like, I have to get him on the show, right? Like when we started, I was like, I had the first artist. I was like, I knew it. Having you on, bro, and you being like the third episode, and talking about everything that you're doing, like from like the foodie channel to like you doing videography and then like covers and like DJing, like that's that sense of borderless. I think that's like the raw definition, like the perfect definition that we want for ourselves. And like you're it, and like that's what we want everyone to be. It's like, don't worry about being the next Drake. You don't have to be that. You're gonna be the next you. You're gonna be the next Lost Boy. You're gonna be the only Lost Boy. You know, Ryan's gonna be the only DJ Canuza, right? And like I'm gonna be like, I'm Mystery. Like there's no other Mystery like me. You know what I mean? And so it's like, those are things that are just gonna keep us going. But also like staying true to yourself. Don't fall into the trap of like, you have to fit this bubble, you have to fit this criteria. No, be your honest self and be the truthful self that you are, because then you're happy with who you are. You're looking in the mirror and saying, I know that person, not, I don't know who you are. Like, what happened? You're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of having, you know, you on the show, Phil. You know, it's because we want people who are genuine with what they do, and they're not fitting into that bubble that Mystery's talking about, right? And, you know, going back to what you said about, you don't have to be great at everything you do. You know, you can do it if it makes you happy, right? You know, I think back to like my own experiences and how, like, you know, I DJ, I'm a drummer, I play all different types of drums, right? Am I a pro at one particular drum? No, but I dibble and dabble with all different types of percussion from around the world, right? And it makes me happy when I do things like that. And so, yeah, man, be genuine, be you. That's the main part, bro.
This phrase, and I know it's the name of a show, but it's always in the back of my mind when I'm doing things or doing all these things together. Master of None, right? I've never watched the show. I need to watch it, but
fantastic show.
Yeah, I hear.
I haven't seen it. Okay,
it's a great show.
I love, and I want to check the show out, and I love the meaning of it, because no one is really, I mean, you go to Japan, they got some master mochi makers and shit, and like, you know, that's cool. If you want to do the one thing, then that's cool. But there's a lot of us that don't really kind of celebrate that we can do 7 different other things, and we're pretty damn good at it. We're perfect? Probably not. But you have the idea, like precision wise, you're probably not going to execute great. But if you are working with me, Ryan, Karan, we work together doing something, and we can execute it. One of us could do something else because we have one of the 7 skills we need in that bag. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's so many of us out there, and we should highlight, bro, we could do so many other things. Just not, you don't have to focus just on one thing.
And collaborate, right? Collaborate. When people come together, when they collaborate, man, the possibilities are endless, right? Like we talk about you gotta tell us a little bit about Beats and Treats and what you got going on YouTube, because I mean, we touched on you being a foodie, and I know you've collaborated with someone on this it's a vlog, right? It's a vlog, it's a YouTube series. Bro, tell us a little bit about Beats and Treats, man.
Yeah. So, and Beats and Treats, man, someone was asking me this morning too. They're like, so like, what is it? Is it a review show? Is it you just going out and eating, or it's just like memorabilia so you can see this? Number one, I love food. Number two,
I second that. I think Mistry could third that.
Inner and outside fat boy, bro. Inner and outside.
Bro, I'm fat boy all straight up, man. So
where you at, fat boy?
I'm in line waiting to get the food.
I'm not in the front yet. I'm in the back, but still I'm in the line.
Yeah. Straight up. But like I put this out just because like I want to combine it. So when we're in, not even just in the pandemic, but Anthony Bourdain, really great man. And just a little bit background on him, he was someone that had a show. He had plenty of different shows, and he had shows that were early back in the 90s. And I don't know if a lot of people know that he had a Cook's Tour, but there was a different tone in a Cook's Tour to when it got to No Reservations. I saw him as a little kid grow into this person that was just this Caucasian white guy that would go and eat bizarre foods. Andrew, what's his name? I don't like him. Yeah, I don't really like him. It's because it was this focal point of like, oh, I'm going to this random place or some other country, and I'm gonna be kind of just putting these like microaggressions and saying these little things. Oh, it's like the white man's discovering this and they're eating insects and all this bullshit. You see, Anthony Bourdain was kind of like that in the beginning, and he grew into this really great journalist and discovered and actually read and learned about the people in the region and why the food is the way it is because of the political climate of the country, what was going on, what affected that food, how does this food keep everyone together. And that's what I loved about those programs. Like there's a lot of vlogs that do food, and I like that. There's a lot of programs or YouTubes that do reviews. That's cool for them. For me, I like going and sharing food, and you'll see a lot of my friends in these vlogs. I like sharing my food, the food that I like, because I like a lot of different kinds of food. Like, dude, like, oh my God, Cantonese food, Szechuan food, like all the different Asian food, like Indian food, like, and it goes down the list of those things. And like, it will get to a point where I'll go with a friend, hopefully in these vlogs, and they haven't tried something, and it will make me joyous to see them be like, wow, I actually didn't know that I like this cuisine. And I could talk to them about it and show them like, this is dope. And that's how you season other people. Like you learn, it's all about learning. And that sounds corny too, but it's all about learning. You're teaching people, you're seasoning these people about what this food and where this food came from. And that also connects with music as well. So different sounds, different music, friends and family. You guys eventually, I hope you guys will be on the next vlog.
I was about to say, Borderless about to be at the next Beats and Treats.
Y'all need to show me some shit I don't know. So I'll probably show you some shit y'all don't know. But
all right.
But that's what it's all about. Like, and also like, I want to look back in 5 years or 10 years and have like video logs of like all my friends and homies and all the music that I did back then and the food I ate back then. And then I could contrast it and see what I'm doing right now.
Hell
because
yeah.
it's probably going to be looking for newer things. And I got newer friends, newer experiences. It was quarantine, right? Or like, I think later on last year. But I was on my like beach house, California dreaming vibes, and then fall hit, and I was like, all right, I'm in a mood, like, you know what I mean? And I got to
it's cuffing season.
Yeah. But like I got like a text, and it was like this like thing, like she thought I was playing on her phone, and like there was never a point in my relationship with this girl, and like shout out her. I hope she's doing cool. I hope she's doing great and she's loved and all that. But it was a point where she questioned, like, I was playing on her phone. I was like, bro, I don't have time, especially because this shit hurt. Because it was like, you know, like I still want to fuck with you, or I want to fuck with you, but she's just bad. And then you accuse me of all this bullshit, and like I've never lied to you in a relationship at all. To give you an example, well, I won't give you an example. Girls would be like, nah, man, he probably lied about that shit or whatever. Like, nah, like I got a life. Like I'm learning how to do new production things and learning how to do music and shit, recording more music because I'm not in a relationship and all that. So I'm talking about that. But it got to that point where it was like, man, I gotta flex my R&B side and storytelling side. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I like that. Like, there is one artist that I truly, truly love, and who really inspired me actually to do music and production from the jump is Kanye West. Like, undoubtedly, he's that
part, bro.
Yeah.
That part.
I mean,
Cue the
I
air
have my
horn.
feelings about him right now, but he's still like my idol. He's somebody I look up to for production and stuff. But one of the things I really loved about him is that he had this aggression and this way of putting out an emotional song, but there was this real genuine way of how he would execute the song, like Hold My Liquor, or like
Devil in
Playing
a New Dress.
Yeah, like those songs will talk about, you know, devastating things, but it's like Kanye was always like, don't ever get it twisted. Like I'm still out here doing my shit, my Grammy shit, stadium status, like shit, and I'm doing my music. I'm still doing good with it.
Tell me nothing, bro.
Straight up, you know. So it was like, you know, don't ever question me on that part, and then also stop playing on my phone. Because if you wanted to run it back, I'll tell you, hey, like, let's run it back. I want to do some block number weird bullshit. Like, you'll hear from me if you think you're gonna hear from me. It's gonna say my name, or you're gonna see my number, or you're never gonna see.
We ain't hiding. We're not hiding.
Yeah. Straight up.
Ain't no block numbers.
Hey, it says block numbers on your shirt though. What's that all about? Is that really in relation to the song? Or what's going on? We got some merch dropping.
So, we got merch coming. I want to say in the next 3 weeks. This is the artwork we got. It's a gray shirt. It's a really good fitted shirt actually. Runs true to size, and more to come on that. I gotta finish the lookbook actually, and then I gotta finish my like website stuff. But
damn, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like this is a shopping channel plug real quick. It's true to size. They're going out quick, ladies and gentlemen. Place your orders in right now.
They're really cotton soft. Like, it's cotton soft, you know?
Yeah, looks smooth, bro. Looks smooth.
That is what's up, dude. Hey, we talked a little bit about these shirts dropping in the future. Man, let's tell our listeners a little bit about what you got in store for 2021 and beyond. What you working on? What are the different flavors you're trying right now with music, with food, or with just your creative side, man? Let us know what you got cooking.
I love how you said flavors. That's beautiful.
Feel me?
a lot of flavors being thrown in Walk, man. So we got the merch coming soon. I want to do some visuals for block numbers, so like a music video or something like that. The beats and treats. I just dropped a new episode 4. So I'm on top of y'all. So episode 4, beats and treats. So it's pho versus ramen. Which, by the way, who would you guys choose between the two?
I'm gonna have to go with pho.
I'm not a soup kind of guy, but I do like ramen just for the fact that I like the noodles better.
I fucks with the rice noodles in pho. So I mean that's my personal preference.
And this is we're gonna have a second video on this whole thing and like reasonings and stuff. But I'm a pho guy, like straight up. Like I love both, but
that's why I fuck with you.
I fuck with you. But so yeah, that episode's out on YouTube right now. And then I'm probably gonna be dropping some remixes. Like I have this Zayn Vibes remix. It's on a reggaeton kind of Bad Bunny vibe. I got an Ariana Grande remix too. Those are gonna be dropping on SoundCloud probably within the next 2 months. I want to space them out, so I got a lot of content kind of backlog right now.
34, 35.
Say what?
34, 35 remix or what?
34, yeah. I think so. Yeah. That one.
Is it 34, 35? Yeah.
The one that is it the Can You Stay Up joint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remixed that joint.
I don't know the song, but I know how it goes.
So I got that joint coming too, and then hopefully an album. I want to say by the end of July, early August. It's going to be called The Everlasting Golden Hour, and a lot of this, there's a lot of variety on there. I want to say a lot of it can be like Candy Colored Sky, and some of it's going to be like Block Number freestyle, but it'll be a hybrid of a lot of that stuff, kind of like Blonde. Like you don't really know what to expect, but it's going to be some crazy shit.
Man, you're probably getting all the listeners, and I mean myself, hyped up too. I mean, a mixture of Block Numbers, Candy Colored Skies. I mean, damn, it's gonna be like cotton candy up in the skies, bro. It's gonna be woo.
Like these lights right here, just see like
real. Hey, for those of y'all tuning in on our YouTube, Phil's actually calling it all the way from Japan. Fam.
Yeah.
Thank
really
you.
early here.
It's probably like it's the next day there. So thank you so much for.
It's like 4:00 in the morning, but I had to see what's up with my boys. You know what I'm saying?
For real, you're doing it. We appreciate the love, man. We definitely do. To wrap up this episode, my boy, where can people find you and stay plugged in with you to find out about these latest drops with music, with food, with everything you got going on, photography? I mean, man, you're just a man of all trades. So where can people stay locked in with you, my man?
Sir, yes, sir. I mean, so first, man, it's google.com, you know what I mean? Just
Google me. Google me.
Nah, so my moniker, WYALOSTBOY, where you at, Lost Boy? You type it in anything, really, I'm there. But mostly I'm on Instagram. I'm building my YouTube page right now. Those are where my food vlogs are going to be. A lot of my original work, like my singles and my album, singer-songwriter original content will be there. Apple Music, Spotify, those ones are going to have all my original music as well. SoundCloud is going to have all my remixes that I have. I got the Camila Cabello joint. I got a Tory Lanez. I got a lot of different genres going on there. Like I got like trap house festival remixes. I got just regular trap remixes. I got EDM remixes and stuff. And again, those were just fun to do, but all those remixes are going to be on SoundCloud.
You got some flips on there. You got some flips on there that we played on the show before.
I'm forgetting some things. I got some flips on there, mashups.
For sure.
I'm on Facebook, I think. I think I am.
That's only for the aunties, right?
Yeah. Any aunties who want to follow me, find me there. I'll probably check it 3 months from now. So, I'm on Twitter too. But yeah, anything WYALOSTBOY, you put it in. I even got a TikTok, man. So yeah, I'm not doing the dances and stuff, but I like, I'm trying to be cool, like young kids.
Not yet.
I'm gonna just.
We're gonna have you stirring up some stir fry, whipping the yams, tossing it up, doing it all, man.
Yeah, so I'm all on everything. But yeah, just look up that name, and hopefully, I will be there. Like my face would just be like this on the side. Hey, that side mystery we were saying earlier, that side profile, the freshest fade of the day. That's my side. I like that,
That's what's up. Hey man, thank you so much for being on this episode of Borderless Radio. We appreciate you taking out the time to do this with us, to share your story with our listeners, man. It's people like you who share your stories who then inspire the current generation and the next generation of artists and just creatives to do so much more, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys, like, so much from the bottom, for real. And I know it's been a long time coming because we've all talked about working together, and it's really dope to just be able to do this in this medium and then also in the next. Like, whether you guys, I have you guys on my shit, and you know what I mean? We rock out, we get some food, and I see y'all, DJing, or we go to the next thing, the world's opening up. Yeah. So once you guys got shit booked up, I'm vlogging y'all. So actually, y'all want to see them, come to my shit. You want to see more of Borderless Radio, come and watch me and my vlog. You'll see them, I swear to God. And I promise you, like, it's gonna happen.
Hey, the connections are unlimited, bro.
Definitely, brother.
Thank you, my man. We'll catch y'all at the next episode of Borderless Radio. It's your boy Kanuza signing off. Peace.
See you guys.
If y'all trying to catch the next half of this episode,
click the link in the description below.